Bones Beyond Time. A Mage the Ascension campaign. Ari. A-Red. Shay. Diesel. Walter. Galewind. Bones Beyond Time.
Hi, I am Kira858, and today we're bringing you episode 5 of Bones Beyond Time, our Mage the Ascension campaign. As always, we want to give a huge thank you to the level of support that we've received for this campaign. We are excited to be back to tell you this wonderful story, especially after the cliffhanger that we just had. And so with that, we're just going to introduce our cast, jump right into this, have them explain who they are, who they're playing, and any projects that they're working on. And we'll start first with our wonderful ST. Ree, would you like to talk about yourself?
Hello everyone, I am at Big Dude Ree on the Twitters, where I do post some interesting content. Tonight I will get to be the lovely storyteller for this amazing group of people, and we get to see what kind of horrors I can inflict upon them. But at other times I am playing much happier characters. I play Avis and Ardris on this channel. I play a few different characters over on the Bear Pen, so you should definitely check those out. And well, let's see what's getting ready to happen tonight.
Hopefully it's sunshine and rainbows, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Making our way down, we have the wonderful Melee Damage. You'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects that you're working on.
Hi there, I'm Melee Damage. You can find me on all the socials at whatever they are / Melee Damage. Me. That is the best way to stay updated. I have a lot of stuff coming up, especially with the holiday season going on right now. So things kind of change. Not really a lot of like weekly stuff happening. A lot of one-shots though. So if you want to stay updated on that, any of my music or film projects, which I also do, just follow me. Tonight I will be playing Irene, which is Ari's older sister, who has been taking care of them to the best of her ability. She is a bit of a dumpster fire, but she's trying.
They shared the dumpster fire this, that's for sure. Our two dumpster fire siblings in full glory. We'll make our way down. We have the wonderful Sharif Jackson. If you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects that you're working on.
Hey, I'm Sharif. You can find all my stuff at sharifjackson.com, SHAREEF Jackson.com. That has links to all my other stuff. So check that out there. He, him, and I'll be playing Galewind True, also he, him, adventurer, Celestial Chorus member, kind of getting back in it. Like, he's kind of been out of the game for a little bit, and he thinks he's found a group that can help him maybe try to rediscover that spark. It sounds like a dating ad or something, but trying to rediscover that spark.
Stella got her groove back.
yeah. That's really what this campaign is. Yeah.
We'll make our way down. We have the wonderful Diana. If you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects that you're working on.
Sure, I'm Diana. I'm Super Dylan. If you go to my Twitter, you'll see all the projects I'm working on. It's too chaotic, so just that's there. And I'm playing Shay, who is Galewind True's social media manager.
Officially.
And Diesel's stylist. And that list will continue to grow. Thank you.
I think next on the list is Walter. We need to see Walter getting 10,000 likes on Instagram.
Oh boy, that would be.
Bring our way down. We have the wonderful Aki. Who'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects that you're working on.
Hi, everybody. I am Aki. You can find me over on Twitter at MixGenie in a Bottle. That's MXGINIINABOTTLE. I'm working on a few things right now. You can find my entire streaming schedule over on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/ShidareAki. That's SHIDAREAKI. And yeah, I play Diesel Coombs, who is also a member of the Celestial Chorus. They, them, for both myself and Diesel. Diesel is a bit of a smooth talker and really likes asking pretty people out on dates. But don't get it twisted. They are still ace. They just also happen to have plenty of game because the two are not mutually exclusive. And yeah, they are here to take hot people on dates and keep their friends out of trouble as much as they possibly can, because that's how they do. And they're going to get them all jobs at some point.
That was going to be World War III between Iron and Diesel. I see that coming in the near future. Make our way down. We have the wonderful Walter. Michael, you'd like to talk about yourself, who you're playing, and projects that you're working on.
Hi, my name is Michael Nosferatu, or Nos for short. I am playing Walter Crow, who's the grunkle private investigator of the group, and who's not having a very good day because of the cliffhanger, but he's gonna do his best. But again, he's still a grumpy 20-something. When it comes to my projects, I'm not really working on something like it now, but come December, I have an announcement that some people might find interesting. So keep an eye out for December.
All right, cool. We'll make sure to advertise that out once it comes through. As for yours truly, I am Kara858. You can tell that we're super busy because instead of talking about all of these projects, we're just like, hey, just go to our Twitter. Because we're working on so much stuff. So with that, you just make sure to follow us at The Cookout TTRPGs to see not only all of the projects that are in place, but all of the new projects that's going forward. And I'm playing Ari, the lovable sweet bead who adores his older sister, is trying to get her to become the next big movie entrepreneur, and is happy to finally have friends for the first time, and discover salmon, computers, video games, super difficult, and many other things along the like. And now they just discovered that their mentor and ally has been injured. So with that said, with that cliffhanger in place, we're going to transition to our wonderful ST. Please don't break our hearts. Ree, take it away.
Right. Well, before we dive into it, a very quick message. Just as a reminder, this is the world of darkness, and sometimes unhappy and negative things happen. Keep in mind that we are playing characters and we are not playing ourselves, and we are all generally super nice people. I have spoken to the cast here, and they have all been notified on how to let me know if something makes them uncomfortable. If something makes you uncomfortable, please feel free to skip forward or stop or take whatever breaks or anything you need to, because your comfort is the number one priority. And with that all being said, I would like to see what our group of Cabal is going on here. So at the end of our last session, you all were having a moment to yourselves, coming down off the high of several unique and happy events. Just for Yunji to make her way into the chantry, you saw her looking completely exhausted. You could see portions of her outfit were ripped and torn, and some of it looked as if it were singed or burned apart. And she, just before collapsing onto the ground in front of you, said, "They took Angela." And with that scene being set, I return things to you all. What would you like to do?
Immediately, Walter is going to use time and correspondence to see into the future, because he wants to know what to do.
Okay. For which area? Are you trying to see the future of where you all are now? Or are you trying to see your future?
He's trying to see what would be the best. He's trying to look for the best outcome if he wants to get Angela back, like he did during the prequels when he was trying to save the journalist with the group.
Okay. All right. And how are you doing it? What does your magic look like?
So, since this is a quick moment decision, he's gonna grab his coin, he's gonna focus on it, and he's gonna basically stare into almost 1,000-yard stare, trying to listen to the primordial ooze of the universe, trying to figure out what he's even supposed to do, because it's in his nature to protect people. So he's panicked. He wants to do it quickly. He wants to get going. So he's just gonna stare into nothing, hoping something just pops into his head.
Okay. Roll your Arte. I will say this will be a difficulty 7 roll.
Even with the usage of his personalized tool.
No, that will reduce it down to 5 in that case.
Right, so that's dice pool difficulty 5. I would like to spend 1 willpower to get at least 1 success.
Okay.
And I got 3.
Okay. As you begin to concentrate and attempt to see probability, to see exactly how events could play out, you find it surprisingly difficult. It's almost as if your vision is being blocked by shadows and almost like hands are trying to prevent you, but you are able to push forward, force your way through, and you see there are several outcomes for what could happen. You see one in which you all do nothing and we never see Angela again. There's another where you all go forward and it looks like you meet someone in an alley and you aren't entirely sure what's happening. It looks like there's some sort of exchange being made. But then your eyes focus on 2 particular outcomes. The first one you see is sometime in the future as there is snow decorating the ground, and you see Diesel is having a conversation with someone who you can't quite recognize. This other person's back is toward you, but you realize they are definitely a very tall woman, and you see them making some sort of agreement, and the world in front of them opens up and some creature steps forward like a golem with the head of some sort of dog, and you see them talking, but you can't quite hear exactly what they're saying. And then you see another one where Angela's sitting in what looks to be like a long black chair. Across from her is a young woman with kind of dirty blonde hair, and she's sitting at a desk with like a strange book in front of her, and they seem to be having a very heated conversation. And you see one of the windows open, shattering towards them, and you see several winged people who you immediately recognize to be both Aaron and Ari fly in. And as you're trying to focus on that image, it begins to blur, and you see that this one seems to be very fragile. It's almost as if that future is on the verge of not happening. And you realize that those 2 are definitely the best chances for Angela's survival.
So after that, immediately he's going to look at Diesel and just say, get her somewhere. Just make sure she's okay. And he's gonna try a different thing. He's going to pick up a newspaper and he's going to try and focus on the words on that newspaper to see what pops out. He wants to see if Entropy can tell him. Well, entropy, time, and correspondence, kinda. He needs to know where he needs to be right now for that one future to happen. He wants the universe to tell him through. He wants the universe to tell him where they need to go, where they need to be right now.
And what ranks do you have in correspondence?
Correspondence to entropy 3 times 2.
Okay. With those ones, I will say you won't be able to find the exact location through that means, but you can set up kind of a directional, for lack of a better word, like a quest marker almost, using the newspaper.
That works.
So
All right.
So Ari, they're going to look up at Ari. It's like, oh, this not good. We gotta help her.
Hold on, and do I roll Arete again?
Yeah, here, I will write the details for you in a second. You can continue.
Yeah. So we have to help her. Do you know how to heal?
I've never tried. Maybe, but I think we need a pretty good plan. She's really strong. Whatever took her can't be good. Like that's something rough. Our teacher, so.
Okay. Can we at least bring Yuji to the bed?
I'm gonna go and see if I can find a safe place to put her.
I'll help with that.
Yeah. I don't know if we have like a safe room in this place, but if we don't, we should think about building one.
Yeah, it's a really solid idea.
You all don't have like a panic room or anything, but you do have your the deeper levels of your chantry where like the kind of sleeping quarters are for the most part.
Yeah, downstairs.
And you can place her in her own room if you like.
Does Iron have the ability with Life and Prime to do healing?
You would, however, you do not have enough command over those things to heal her wounds, as some of them seem to be of kind of scrapes and bruises, and you could fix those. However, a good deal of it is what you would gather to be more serious damage. It is aggravated damage.
Would she be able to fix it with Ari's help?
I believe. Unfortunately, neither of you have enough command over Life to heal that wound.
Oh, it's 3 spheres. I forgot to hear others.
I as we're like carrying her down to the to the lower levels to get her safe, I take my Hydro Flask and I give it to her to drink from. Who did we lose? We lost someone.
Oh, hey, Walter, you had to step away for a second.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
All right, I'm back.
And I just want to use it to. I want to get a picture of how bad the situation actually is with regard to her health with Life.
Okay. If you just want a general breakdown of her physical being, I would say that's a Life 1 effect.
Yes.
All right. So, how exactly would you like this effect to manifest? I have an idea, but I want to see what you have.
I think that for me, and the fact that this manifests through my Hydro Flask, that I can watch like how someone drinks water, like how desperately they chug at it, and like how quickly like the water affects them. Like I can kind of see how much they need it, and kind of compute that in my head as to what it actually means for them physically.
Okay. All right. Roll your Arete at a base difficulty of 4.
Okay. 1 success.
Okay, with 1 success, it's very difficult for you to see, but you can tell she is very, very hurt. It looks as if she has, it is, based on what you've seen, it is impressive to you that she managed to walk here. Purely because you can tell that kind of the way that she drinks it, that the water is definitely, that she has probably maybe some broken bones somewhere in her chest perhaps, or that maybe either that or just her throat may have been damaged or bruised. And then you can see, just kind of watching as the water kind of follows that imaginary path, that some of her organs have been heated up or burned from the inside.
Is it possible to rewind her body to a point that it was better?
It might be. It's not for me.
I'm curious as to what level of power it would take to do something like that.
That's
Well, that is beyond the Diesel's understanding of time at the moment.
Well, something I can look into for another day.
yeah.
But that's an interesting way of. I don't think I ever thought of that as a way to possibly heal someone, to rewind them to a point when they actually felt better.
And before I forget,
Whoa.
really quickly, for you, Walter, your attempt, the words on the newspaper do begin to change and alter themselves. And as you're kind of watching the words, not so much as point you physically, as the words begin to kind of scatter and some of them begin to kind of fade, and you see almost the articles begin to fall apart, and there's almost a stepping ladder almost from a section that leads from kind of the sports area up to like an article on lawn care, and you see that one of those is an address in Parma. And as you see it, the staircase turns, and you see there's one leading towards an article on a museum and an art installation. And as you're watching this kind of webbing sensation, you get the feeling that she is most likely somewhere at her home in the Parma region, the area that you all were trying to avoid before.
So, is it the same place Vandal saw when he was trying to use his magics way back when?
Based on what he told you, yes, it does seem to be the same.
So, Walter will probably stay behind and he just yells, "Everyone, get here now, we need to go."
Well, should someone stay with Eugen?
Yeah.
Her injuries seem
They're pretty
severe.
bad. We need to possibly see if we can't call somebody in with the actual ability to take care of her, because the only other option I see is sending to her hospital, and these types of injuries are not the type of
Just
injuries that we
Can you
should
get in touch with Nubia?
would
Yeah.
guess.
Try it, because I know Aaron and Ari need to go with us. Just trust me.
yes, but surely there's someone in this area that can tend to injuries. I'm not sure if we should disrupt someone as
Aelwyn,
powerful as Nubia.
you can't like do stuff like that, can you? We just I don't know what you can actually do. Like I know like where you were born and like what your hobbies and interests are and stuff, but I don't. Can you do any healing?
Not particularly. I heal with the sense of words, good conversation, and nurse people's spirit back to health through regaling them with certain tales of battles in the past and such.
Well, I don't have any magical friends, and I don't want to explain to sleepers why she's like that. But I know that all of us need to go.
We all need to be there?
We all should be there. All hands on deck. This is, if it's what I think it is, they're declaring war on us.
Okay, so Walter is saying this over and over again, but we don't know what he knows in his brain. Can I like kind of
Calm down.
empathetically like understand like what he might be talking about, or like why he might be
So insistent.
feeling so insistent that we all go?
You can just tell him, right, flat out, just saying. You can just tell him, Walter, chill out. What is going on?
Okay. Well, Walter?
So,
What?
You're not explaining yourself.
Get your shit together.
I can see the future, and the best outcome I can see is all of us being there, or at least Aaron and Ari. But we need all hands on deck because I don't, no offense, but I don't trust just me and them to handle this correctly. I need all of you to help because otherwise things are gonna get worse, much worse. Trust me. If we do nothing, we'll never see Angela again.
It would help me a lot to have more of you there. Otherwise, then it's just me and Walter and Ari. And like, I'm probably going to be spending a lot of energy trying to protect Ari.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I believe you. Walter, did it give you any your thing? Did it tell you any other like details that we need to know besides the fact that we need to physically be there?
He tells them the address and he gives them the exact, or at least as exact as he can get them, the details of the vision.
Okay.
And after that, he's gonna go.
How come we
Well-
keep getting sent to Parma? How come nothing ever happens at like the Flats or like Avon Lake? Like we're always just continuously headed to. I hate Parma so much. It smells like Aquanet.
Hey, it's okay. That's the funny part about probability. Everything happens for the reason, but right now, hey, anyone remember if Vandal had any spare guns in his shooting range?
Yeah, bullets.
Yeah, but bullets good, but I need something to shoot the bullets just in case.
I'm sure there are firearms somewhere if you look hard enough.
Are there, storyteller?
I will say there is one that was just, it's kind of just not so much just like a weapon that's available, but it is kind of like left behind. Like it's kind of like the standard training one. You know, you go there and you use that one to practice.
So it's like a shit tier Glock or something.
I mean, it's still done, you know.
Yeah, it's, you know, so Walter is just
there's
he's just gonna sprint and he's gonna come back with this dicky of a gun and he's gonna go, don't judge me, I have my reasons. He's gonna put it into his waistband and he goes, Diesel, you take the other car, I take the first car, and we're going to Parma.
Okay. Who wants to ride with me?
How did the dream work?
So
I think
I don't know. I just saw you there flying through a window. So I know you need to be there. I have no idea who you need to arrive with.
Oh.
So you and Aaron go with me, and Galewind and Shay go with Diesel. Sound good?
I would like to
Yeah.
stay with Eugen.
Kind of turns. I understand. Just make sure that if someone comes here, you know what to do.
Because they've been here. It seems like the attack could have been here. We don't want to leave our place utterly defenseless.
I don't think so. I think it happened while they were on a day. That doesn't matter. It kind of stees. Walter is becoming slightly manic. Is what's going on. But it's okay. Just. We need to go now. If we do nothing, we're never gonna see Angela again. Trust me. That's the worst possible outcome.
No, we're gonna go.
You don't have to convince us. We absolutely
Yeah.
believe you. But so Shay's with me. Are you sure you want to stay here, Galewind? We might really need your help.
We might.
I will stay here for now. I will catch up later. I have the address.
Okay, yeah, we're gonna go. Just I put the cell phone back into Galewind's hands because right before this happened, I was just finishing up. I say, if it buzzes, please look at it. It's probably us, and we just
Okay.
Okay.
I will just wait. I should answer it though.
yes,
correct?
yeah. If
Not
it's
just look at it.
if it's us, look at it and then answer it.
Yes.
And Everything's going to be fine. And you know what? You should maybe tell some of those stories because it might be helpful. Genuinely.
Yes. And when Eugen may be able to give me some information, I could then pass back on to you.
All right. Sweet.
Try to make sure she doesn't go into shock.
Yes, I do have some experience treating patients in combat environments. I will do what I must. I'm sure there's material around here that I can use.
There should be. Yeah.
Were you like in the military?
I've served for various different masters over time.
I guess Celestial Chorus is in its own way an army of sorts.
Yes, some militia, an army, Betty at the Navy, some might say. Yes.
Okay.
Anyways, let's go.
Okay. I'll see you all there.
We'll meet you there.
And so, as they get into the car, Walter is gonna stop Diesel for a second. He just looks at them and says, Diesel, can I trust you with something? I might have to do some bad things to make sure Angela gets back here. I need to make sure you're not gonna judge me too much.
Exactly what kind of bad stuff are you implying?
Depends on what I have to do to get her back. That's my job.
If you're talking about having to kill people,
yeah.
Well, just say it plainly.
Yeah, I think I might have to kill someone if I want to get Angela back to Ari and Aaron.
Well, we'll see. And I guess if you actually, if it actually does come down to that, we'll figure out whether or not I have to judge you.
Kind of nods and gets into probably the Mazda. It's always the Mazda.
But don't lie to yourself, and please don't lie to me.
Gives another nod.
And yeah, Diesel will get into their car as well.
So you all are setting out. Do you all wish to do anything on you while you are traveling?
Yes. I mean, we know generally where we're going, thanks to Walter, but I would like to see if I can do what I've done in the past, and I take my phone out and use data to try to see if I can like lock in on where Angela might be.
Let's see. I will give it a chance to work. Let's see. Okay. So how do you do this?
This is through kind of like what I've done before, where I'm really just following the channels that I know and looking through street cameras and things and kind of searching for a familiar image till I can find something that catches her somewhere recent at least.
Okay. I will say based on what you're doing and how you're doing it, that's going to be coincidental. So that will be your Royarte at difficulty 5.
Ooh, okay. Ugh. No botch, but no dice either. I'm just like, fudge, I can't find her.
Unfortunately, she does not appear on any computer or anything.
Breathe, Shay. It's going to be okay. We're going to figure this out. We have an address. We're going to go through it the way we need to go through it. But we're going to get her. We're going to save her life. We're going to make sure Iron and Ari are okay. It's going to be fine.
Thanks. I don't like when I can't see. But...
Well, the one thing that you can always trust in is that I'm not going to lie to you. I honestly believe that we're going to make it through this.
I like that. Thanks. I like that a lot. Cool. Okay.
In the car, Ari's gonna look up at Iron and says, "So, what would you like to do? How should we go inside?"
What was the specific of Walter's vision? They went in through the window, right?
1 second. Were you talking to everyone or Aaron?
Aaron.
Okay, I'll let Aaron respond first before I address that question.
Can you actually repeat the question, Kira? My internet did the glitch thing again.
No worries. He was like, "So, what would you like to do? Like, how should we go inside?"
To be honest with you, I'm not really sure. Like I said before, I'm worried that whatever's waiting for us there is going to be way above our pay grade, as they say. If it took Angela, it can get us. I don't know what's waiting for us. Walter, what else did you see?
All right. So did they go into? How tall was the building when they went through the window? Could Walter see?
Your angle, you weren't able to see the exterior of the building. You kind of got a almost kind of like a camera view of that one room that they were in. You are aware that the window itself was large enough for a person to kind of go through. So you gather it was kind of, may have been like a kind of a, I forget what the word is for it, but like a room that would have a full length mirror window in it.
So it's probably bottom, unless it's like some very fancy modern architecture building. So he just says, you went in through a person-sized window. If we see a person-sized window, probably go through that window.
Oh, I have an idea. Is there a jacket? Can I see a jacket? Pretty sure it's like a one of Walter's hoodies in the Mazda, probably.
You know, there is probably like Pandora's old clothes thrown about for reasons undisclosed.
So Ari is going to grab one of the hoodies, places it over themselves, and as they do so, they're going to use forces and Prime to make themselves invisible.
Okay.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
So I will give this warning because I believe you have the required spheres.
I have correspondence to be able to see.
Yes, if you do this effect without being able to, without correspondence, you won't be able to see. So how does this effect manifest?
Oh yeah, so that's what they're using the hoodie to place around them, so it'd be looking like a magic trick of sorts. So where they put like some type of like cloak on top of someone, like now you see them, now you don't, and then the hoodie's gone, and then they're gone. So that's what they're trying to do, is try to replicate that type of magic trick of putting this large hoodie over them and then suddenly disappear.
Okay, interesting. So this effect is going to be vulgar without witnesses. However, and this is something that I have not actually had the chance to go over with you all, the type of effect you have just done is referred to as manipulating the mythic threads, as you are messing with a form of magic that is still somewhat believed, the archetype of using cloaks or things like that to hide from view, which will act as a -1 to your difficulty, bringing you down from 6 to 5.
Okay, in that case, I'm going to use 2 quintessence to make the difficulty 3. All right. Hey, here we go. Perfect. 3 successes. So,
Okay.
wait, go ahead.
So, and as you all are watching, so you are aware that Ari is still there, but as you see him, he grabs it, he kind of fans it out for a moment, and just almost as if he's putting it on, the cloak kind of fades around him, and the jacket is floating, but Ari seems to have faded away. And for 3 successes, that effect will last for the rest of the day, or until you end it.
Wow.
Okay, so the upside, nothing else can see you. Downside, I can't see you to protect you. So Ari, if it looks like it's getting sticky, I guess just run.
Oh, you should be able to feel me because of our senses. Like, I can always tell where you are because of the distance, of our distance magic. So you should always be able to. I can, and then they'll point to your elbow and say, "See, like I can talk to your mind even though I'm still invisible." And then I can also can see how healthy you are or if you're hurt. So you should be fine. Walter,
Iron's
though.
just kind of processing everything because she's like, wait a minute, like she's trying to get the pen because she's never seen her do that before. So she's trying to like kind of like figure it all out. And as they're saying that to her, she's like, wait a minute, okay, yes, I can hear you. There is that sense you're there. Just kind of going through the motions, and I've never seen you do this before. Okay, this is an interesting time to find out. All right. Cool.
Okay, make it easier.
As Arya is becoming invisible, Walter is gonna activate his arcane to be harder to spot.
Okay.
And he's just gonna throw out at Aaron, just by like, you may want to grab something to cover your face. It may get ugly.
My face will get ugly? That's very rude.
No. It's like, okay, I mean, what we're about to do might get ugly. And he's kind of holding the wheel as he's kind of just saying, just make sure that if there are any cameras, you're either hard to spot or your face is hard to see. Me and Ari have magics to help with that. You don't, I think.
Irene kind of chuckles a little bit, and she does reach for like a hat or something that she can find around the car. And in her head, she says to Ari, I love messing with Walter so much.
Oh, that's okay. And they now realize that's a joke, and they kind of giggle a little bit.
It's like, meanwhile, Walter is in utter panic.
Full panic mode. So now that they're invisible, they can take off the hoodie, right, and give it to someone, or do they need to still have the hoodie on? They can take it off, right?
Actually, I believe the jacket itself is a tool for you. So I will say it only, the effect for you at the moment will only work as long as.
Okay, no worries. I just
it only works with the jacket.
Gotcha. Just wasn't sure how that applied, but no worries. Okay, they'll keep the jacket.
All right, and with that, as you all are reaching your destination, our camera is going to refocus, and we will see what our friend Gilwind Drew is doing.
Yeah, so imagine that Gilwind is so like Eugen is like, on a bed. Gilwind is there with, sort of he's managed to scrounge around, a bunch of different like medical supplies. Can Eugen speak, or is she kind of
at the moment she seems to be barely conscious. However, I will say you can make some medicine rolls, see if you can help her recover a bit more.
Yeah, I have 1 dot in medicine. What I would like to do though, and I think I have enough for this, is to use, I believe it is, let me just check here. I believe it's spirit that I can use to, is it spirit? Let's see. Oh wait, no, it is not spirit. There's one sphere that there's one that I can use to like sense like what someone's underlying thoughts are.
Mind.
I think it's mind. I think it's mind, but I don't have mind. So forget about that. Okay. Yeah. So let's just do medicine then. Let's see what's up.
All right. So intelligence plus medicine.
Okay.
And the difficulty for treating these wounds, I will say, It's going to be 6 plus 1 because the items you have on hand aren't exactly medical grade things. But they will do.
6 plus 1. Okay. So difficulty of 7. Okay. All right. All right. Cool. Hold on. Sorry, my thing is a little weird. All right. So 4 successes.
Okay. Wait, how many dice did you roll for that? All right, that's weird. You know what? We'll have to worry about that later. With 4 successes, you are able to piece together some bandages and things, and even kind of disclaimer, I am not a doctor, so I cannot guarantee that any of these things are accurate. However, you are able to kind of bandage up her front to kind of alleviate the pressure that would be from the kind of the broken ribs and a kind of broken sternum, or any injury in that area. And it takes you some time to take care of it and kind of fiddling with it and tying it just tight enough. But she does slowly regain consciousness, and she looks at you for a moment. I don't have to check on that. She looks at you and she goes, where are the others? Where did they where did they go?
They all went to an address in Parma, where Walter saw that that's a place that we should be to help solve this situation.
Wait, no, did Ari and Aaron, they didn't go, did they?
Yes, they did.
And you see her begin to get up, and you can see some of the bandages beginning to kind of strain and rip as she's moving. And she looks around at you and she goes, "No, we have to stop. We have to stop them. They were trying to get one of them or both of them. I'm not sure, but she needed them for something."
Well, I believe they are there. I mean, we should head over. Well, are you in any position to travel? I should head over then. I just wanted to nurse you back to health, and see if there was any additional information. But if it's a danger for them to be there, then what is the
just help me
fastest way to get there?
I'll come with you. Just help me. And she does begin to kind of pull herself up, and you can see just from her body language, she is in a lot of pain at the moment. And she looks at you, and you can see just for a moment that in her eyes, they aren't fully focused. And she looks at you and she goes, I'm not very good with directions, but it's not a long drive. They have to be careful of that. There was fire, but it didn't behave like fire. Angela, she called it something else, but I don't know what it is. You have to get them.
It's like a sort of magical fire. Is there any magical means that you could transport us to that address, or should we?
Unfortunately, I'm good with a gun. That's about it. I don't really have magic or any of the crazy things that they do.
Okay. Do you have a vehicle?
Yeah, I hope so. I hope it's here.
Then let's make our way and try to save them.
Yeah, the two of you do, and she does have a small, we will say, an undetermined SUV-like vehicle, and looking at it, it appears to have been through a lot of damage itself. There looks to be like bullet holes on it, and there are some sections where the paint seems to have been burned and melted through. But she looks at you and she goes, "Can you drive?"
Of course. You shouldn't be driving in your condition.
And she will hand you the car keys, Mr. Tree.
Wait,
All right. And as you all are heading,
do you have to roll to drive?
not yet, not yet. We'll see if something comes up that requires you to roll to drive. We'll see. And as you are heading off, our camera is going to refocus as our second group of mages. As you all both arrive here, you see you're standing now in front of a decently sized single floor home. Looks to be like it's decently sized. There does seem to be, the front of it does seem to have kind of a single large window pane. What looks to be like what you would guess from kind of like a modern office like area. There is a walkway that seems to be blocked by like a black iron gate, and there does seem to be a person standing outside of it. What looks to be kind of like a long black trench coat, just kind of walking around, looking around. What would you all like to do?
So just to clarify, is everyone here, or we said second group? It'd be everyone, right? Okay.
All of you have arrived. Brother, I will leave whether or not you have gotten out of your vehicles up to you.
Looking at this, can Walter see the window from his vision?
You see what you think to be the window from your vision. You see basically a window that looks like a person-sized window. That looks like it's probably the same one, but you can't be sure for certain.
Kind of grumbles, getting more angry. I don't know.
Did you not drink enough coffee today, Walter? What's up?
Do you really have to ask me that question?
What's our plan of attack?
I don't know. Okay.
Did you see that hooded person in your vision at all, or is that like
No.
a wild card thing?
No, I think that's a guard, but let's just. Any of you good at fighting? Because I'm not.
I think we're about to find out what we're good at. We just need to keep our heads up.
Yeah.
Iren's actually pretty good at fighting, so she will try to stealth a little closer if she can like see a spot to where she feels like she might be able to get the jump on this person from behind. Is there like a bush or like a railing or a porch or anything around here that she could kind of stealth to and hide behind?
I would say it will be a difficult stealth as the position itself isn't covered by anything, but there are cars that are kind of on the street, and there is the actual fence leading onto the property. So you could attempt it, but it will be a bit difficult for you.
Iren will look at the rest of the group, and she'll be like, okay, so 2 plans. I can try to stealth up in a place where there's not a lot of cover, or you guys could maybe find another way in while I take care of this guy, which might involve, I won't kill him, don't worry. He just might sleep for a very long, long time.
Fine with me.
I'm like okay with that. I'm okay with finding another way in. I think I could actually I could probably do that actually.
Should I go through the window since I'm invisible now?
What?
Just hear a voice from nowhere.
Holy shit.
I forgot about them.
Okay.
Heads up, Ari is invisible now. Don't step on them.
Floating jacket.
Okay.
Thought it was
Ari.
freaking Casper. Okay.
Yeah, let's go find another way in.
Okay. They shouldn't be able to see me now that I'm like this. Oh, and they'll use forces to reduce the sound output for when they walk to increase their stealth.
Okay.
And how do you do that?
So what happens is, as you see them get down to their feet, well, nobody would be able to see them because they're invisible. But when they get down to their feet, they kind of like place what looks to be tape from their backpack underneath it to try to give the impression that these are silent shoes. And from there, they're going to use that to essentially reduce their pressure as they talk. That's kind of like their visualization of making it seem more mundane per se, as they essentially use forces to reduce their sound and help increase their stealth. Because, you don't have much in dexterity.
So that'll be coincidental.
Okay. All right.
I will say it's coincidental if the effect is only muting the sound and not silencing the sound. That's what I will say.
Just muting it. Because they're already invisible, so they're hoping they shouldn't have to go too much further to be not noticed. But I mean, just to be on the safe side. All right. And so that's difficulty 5. So 2 successes.
All right, you will be silent for the rest of this scene. I don't believe I've told, if I don't remember if I told you or not, but you did gain 1 paradox for the invisibility.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
That was Volgar. Yes, that one was Volgar. And you become quieter.
Okay. All right. So he said, okay, I should be able to go through the window that Walter saw in his dream now.
It is almost impossible for you all to hear what he just said. Like you're aware they're speaking, but to you all, it sounds like someone is whispering from really far away.
So now they're invisible and they're very quiet. None. Okay, cool.
Iron's still be able to hear Ari in her head, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, your telepathy is not affected, but you cannot hear them. Like you can't hear them. You could still communicate telepathically, but you can't hear them.
Iron will look at everybody and go, I can kind of act as like an intermediary, maybe, because I can still hear them up here, though it's not like hearing them. It's like that we're
good enough.
Okay, wait. Where we'll go? I think I might be able to sense Ari a little bit, and then we'll try to find another way in.
Okay.
Well, we can see Ari's jacket. Like, so they're invisible, but can't we still see the jacket?
Can we?
Wait, I thought
no. I think the jacket.
No. Okay, never mind. All right,
Yes,
cool.
the way the metaphysical way invisibility works is that light is no longer passing through them, so you can't see anything about them at all.
All right. I thought I must have misheard earlier. Then okay, cool.
It's the invisible cloak logic.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yes, he is still wearing the jacket. However, both he and the jacket are no longer visible.
Okay. So Ari and I are going to try to find another way in order to try to keep a focus on Ari. Can I use my mind ability to sense their emotions and kind of have that going? It's mind 1 I would like to use.
I would say you could. It's definitely possible to use that. If you combine that with your course, for you data, you would be able to use that to kind of pinpoint where they are generally. However, because you have data, how exactly are you going to do that?
And you also might want to tell Ari about this because they also have mind and they usually keep their emotions on blocked from others. So you probably would have to let them.
I will. So I say, Ari, before we go, okay? Can I take your picture real quick? I know I can't see you, but it's a special picture, and it might help me to figure out where you are so we don't panic and think that you're not here.
Okay, I could do that.
Okay, and I take out my my Polaroid, my fake Polaroid, my trendy Polaroid. That is also it's like a digital Polaroid, so it prints. But it makes a digital copy that goes to my phone. So I'm going to kind of use that as my way to, I think that with the Polaroid, it takes the picture, and even though I'm taking a picture of nothing, they show up on the printout, and I can kind of see them from there. if I do it right. That's what I imagine.
What I will say is, due to the nature of taking a picture of something that is invisible, that will be considered a vulgar magical effect, which means that it will be a data 2 mind 1 effect, so the difficulty will be 6 for you at base, and you can apply any modifiers.
Got it. With data 2 mind 1 combined, I don't roll those two combined. I still roll my regular arete, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yep. Always roll an arete.
Got it. Just making sure. What was the difficulty again?
6.
Oh, okay, only one success. It was an 8 and a 5, I thought.
Okay. Okay, so you do have a brief connection, and you are aware of his current state. And I will be nice enough and say it will last for a little while. With one success, it's only a turn. But I'll let you. It'll last for a scene. Is what I'll do for that effect.
Okay, so at least, all right. At least while we're getting to where we need to go to try to sneak in, at least for right now, I can see you, Ari, but only me. You're still invisible. You're still totally invisible.
Okay.
All right, let's go. Lead the way.
Okay. They'll grab what Iron's hand one last time, and they give her a huge hug and says, "Be careful."
You see her
hugs
grab
them, but it's
nothing.
it's like
Very awkward grabbing like absolutely nothing, but it works.
Yes, Iron is hugging air.
Okay, all right, here we go. And they'll try to head over to the window that Walter indicated we're supposed to go through.
So there is a fence, which I could try and attempt to climb it, or how would you all actually try to bypass this metal fence? It's it's like above Ari's height, but it's like a little bit higher than chest height for Shay.
Do I have to pass the fence to get to the security guard, or is he on the outside? No. Okay, Iron will head that way while everybody's making their way over the fence.
Okay, all right.
Is it possible to create a hole in the fence without having to climb it? Like, could I use like my matter or my forces to do that?
You absolutely could do either of those. However, the way that effect would manifest will be vastly different depending on which way you decide to do it.
Yeah, I think I kind of want to use matter to see if I can manipulate it quietly as opposed to forces, which I feel like would make quite a bit of ruckus.
Okay.
Kind of,
So,
yeah.
Okay, so there are a couple of ways you could do it with matter. You could find portions of it that are kind of weaker in the metal that is just weaker. You could attempt to take the metal and transform it into a different material. I believe both of those would be kind of your two main ways to kind of find a way past Metal Gate. However, both of which will be very vulgar.
Oh. All right. Would forces be equally so?
Yes, with forces you would more or less be cutting through it with a force, so fire, wind.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go ahead and see if we can find a weak link in the chain here, and see if we can manipulate that to make it easier to pass through this fence.
That would be a matter one effect. So how does this effect manifest for Diesel?
I think what they do is they kind of run their hand across the fence, and as they're running their hand across the fence, they're kind of humming low to themselves, and like the vibrations from their voice are like traveling through their arm and kind of hitting the links in the chain, and they're kind of able to feel the weaknesses in that way, like the way the sound reverberates through them, and then like the moment they hit kind of like that weak spot, you just see like these sort of waves of sound pass through their hand and sort of like shake the fence slightly, and like those pieces of metal seem to kind of gently warp and twist out of the way.
Roll your art hit a difficulty of 4.
Yeah, this is fun.
That's 2 successes.
Successes. Okay. As you begin to focus on it, there is a very slight trembling that begins to see it. You can see passing through the metal, and as you see it, bits and pieces of it, and you realize that it may have been weakening this entire time, begin to kind of become more brittle. The paint beginning to fall off, and I would say with 2 successes, you figure it will be quite easy for you to kind of, nudge it out of the way, because we don't break, we nudge it apart. And I would say with 2 successes, you can make it big enough for you to. You won't be able to walk through, but you'd have to like kind of shimmy crawl through it, but you could get through it.
And they kind of point to it and go, all right, everybody through.
And they'll crawl through. I'm pretty sure for them it's like huge.
Yeah, for you it is much easier.
I'm wondering if Walter should join them, but I'm kind of scared of messing this up for everyone. Although he has the arcane on his side.
Yeah, I also have my arcane activated, but when Diesel sees Walter's hesitation to go through the fence, you are in the dream too. You have to come with us. Get through that hole right now.
Walter just says, I just saw it. I didn't see myself there, but okay. And he's afraid. Like legitimately afraid.
Mm.
It's kind of setting in that this is like it's setting in what they're about to do for him, and he's like, I should. It's like he's fighting with himself, but he goes through the fence.
Yeah, we need you. Get your ass through that door.
While you are crawling through this bit, Aaron, how are you handling your issue?
All right, so this guy is just is he just like walking around outside the gate? Does he look armed? What's he looking like here?
Just doing a quick look at him, he is kind of walking back and forth. Currently, he is walking away from you, so you aren't able to see if he has like weapons on him or anything. But he does seem to just kind of looking around, watching the area.
If he is currently walking away from me, she is going to hopefully utilize her 5-point dex special for feline and run up to him and put him into a sleeper hold from behind.
Roll. So for this first roll would be your dexterity plus stealth, and I will say feline dexterity will help. Will be a specialty for this.
And keep in mind, doubles the successes.
What's the number I have to beat?
Base 6, but he isn't aware, so I will say it will be 3. Because he is not aware that you are there.
Oh, nice. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is 6 successes.
Okay. So you are able to sneak up on him very quickly, and you are able to kind of wrap your arms around him, and he is, actually I'll say with 6 successes, he does not remain conscious for very long, and you're even able to kind of grab hold and keep him quiet enough that it doesn't draw any attention to you all, and before long you have an unconscious person laying on the sidewalk.
Does he have any kind of like security badge on him or anything that it looks like I might be able to take off of him that might be useful to us here in the future?
You do see he has a security swipe badge. If you've been in any of those kind of like buildings where you put the badge up to like the box thing and it opens, he does have one of those. And he has a knife as well.
Well, the knife is just fun, and I love those. They're kind of my things. I will take his knife just for good measure as a trophy. And the swipe card, I will definitely take. with 2 points of life and 3 points of prime, is there like any way I'd be able to like magically copy his thumbprint or like retina or anything in case it requires like that too to get through anything? How much can I manipulate with the few dots that I have, Ray?
Unfortunately, doing what you so a couple of things. Doing what you want to do, the way you described it, is definitely a bit beyond your paradigm, and you would want to use forces and entropy for that to fake entrance. However, the technology level of security here is not particularly high, so it is not quite necessary.
Then she will just take his swipe badge and make her way back to the rest of the group with her brand new toy knife that she is going to love and probably put like some wonderful magic on. It'll be great.
Okay. You do see them. They have apparently somehow they have managed to cut a hole in the fence and are slowly crawling through it. You aren't entirely sure how that happened, but you see at this point most of them have managed to make it through to the other side.
Irene will follow, and when she kind of makes it to the back, she will look at everybody and go, "Hey, swipe card."
Walter just gives a thumbs up, and he looks slightly horrified of the display Aaron just put on. he has the look of, oh, I just realized this person is stronger than me.
I mean, it's hot.
I lift.
We'll have to go to the gym together sometime.
And looking around, is there anything Walter can see through the window?
At the moment, you all have not gotten close enough to look through the window. If you would like to, you have to make a decision. Would you like to be stealthy about it, or do you just want to kind of walk up to the window?
Oh, stealthy. Well,
Stealthy.
I mean, Ari is already super stealthy mode. So.
Well, yes.
Yes, I believe that stealthing is the plan here.
Yes.
Should we call Galewin and update him?
I can.
We should.
Wait,
should.
are Ari and I still somewhere else? Or are we all together?
At the moment, you two went through first, Ari and Shay. So it'd be up to you all if you all would have stayed behind to wait for them, or if you two would have walked off without.
Ari, I'm kind of following your lead on this since I don't want you to go missing. So what are you doing? And I'll try to stick to that.
Oh, I'm going to look through the window, and then I'm going to see if there's anyone inside. And if there's no one inside, I'm going to open up the window.
Okay, I guess you don't need a lift. No. Okay.
But thank you, though. Can you still see me?
Kind of.
Okay.
Mostly I'm just gonna put my back to Ari and just look to make sure that nothing is coming our way as they investigate.
So
I will say, as you look around, you see Aaron finish choking someone unconscious.
Oh, good. Nothing, Ari. Just keep checking the window.
Oh, okay.
And so first what they're going to do is they're going to use their mind to be able to increase their mental attributes by 1. So you just see, and this was to allow for perception, of course, intelligence and such. And so how it manifests, you just see kind of like their eyes like widen, like an eagle's viewpoint to help with their vision. And yeah, they're pretty much going to increase their mental attributes.
Okay, I will say that would be coincidental.
Perfect. Okay. All right. Woo! 3 successes, 2 nines, and a 7. Here we go.
Okay, so with that, you have the option of boosting one thing by 1 dot for the rest of the scene. You could boost 2 things by 1 dot, and it only lasts for the rest of the turn, and any other configuration of 3 like that.
I will use then a perception for the rest of the scene, since it could be important to be able to see everything. They're already pretty smart, so they don't need to do too much more than that.
All right, then perception boosts up by 1.
Okay. And at that, they're going to take a look through the window to see if they could what they see inside.
Okay. And you look into the window and you see a couple of very odd things. First of all, you see that you're in some kind of like what you guess to maybe an office or a study or something like that. There's a large black wooden desk. There is a woman who has her back turned to you. She seems to be looking up, and looking at her, she seems to be having some sort of conversation with something or someone. She seems to be just kind of looking up at in the sky. She seems to be speaking verbally and kind of not quite aggressively, but frustratedly with something that you can't see.
Ooh. Shay has mine and I have mine. Is it possible for me to project what I saw to Shay since we both share the same the mind sphere?
I am focused on them too, using that mind ability.
I will have to double check because I want to say that would require a mind 2 effect for images. But I will confirm.
I have mine too. Does Ari?
Just one.
Just one. Okay.
I think we used one during the prequel. I don't remember when.
Yes, because Ari is able to do it if they use Aaron as kind of a medium, because they can do it back and forth with each other, because they have special stuff. I will say you can attempt it.
Okay.
It could be argued that it is a thought. So I will say you can attempt it. It will be quite difficult.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure I'm gonna have to lower the difficulty a bit by using Quintessent. What's the difficulty at right now?
Well, how are you doing it?
They're going to essentially just kind of like look at Shay. They're not going to say anything because they're right next to the window, so they don't want to use any words. So they just want to kind of like use their eyesight to just stare at them. And since Shay can see them, they can lock eyes with one another and do that through that locked eyes, be able to share the images through our vision.
I will say that would be in the realm. I'll say that it's still coincidental. So it'll be 4 plus 2, so it'll be 6.
6. All right. Let me just use 2 quintessence to knock it down. To back down to 4. Okay. Here we go. Ooh. Okay. 0, 7. Okay. So that's 2 successes.
Successes. You are able to give a very kind of a brief snapshot to Shay, and it isn't so much as a full image as you can get the kind of mood or the tenor of what you're seeing. You can, for you, Shay, it comes off as the person of interest, and they're doing something weird. That's kind of it's more of a vibe that you're getting a vibe check, so to speak, instead of a full image.
Okay, I kind of lean back closer to where I suspect Ari is, and I said, okay, well, everyone should be joining us soon. It looks like they're getting in, because at this point, it looks like they're all getting through the fence, I would assume.
I've gotten through it, and they are slowly moving and walking.
Let's go in together. Do you think all of us?
Okay. I can open the window.
Does it look like a safe idea to open the window? I can't see exactly, so I'm gonna have to trust you.
Only person that I saw around in that location was someone looking away from the window looking up, right? There wasn't another individual in there?
Not from what you know.
Okay, yeah, they'll say,
I only see one person there. She's looking away from the window.
Okay. All right, I trust you, and I'm ready for whatever we get into.
Oh, I'll still wait for the others, because Walter's dream said that Iron and I went through the window. So we would just wait for everyone to come, and then we open the window?
Perfect. Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I swear, if Walter causes something, I'm gonna be so mad. I'm gonna be angry.
Yeah. So once they appear, that's when they'll essentially is the window locked by chance?
You don't think so? It's one of those windows where you would pull it out to open, and you don't think it's locked.
Okay. So yeah. So once when everyone's around, that's when they'll pull it open and try to hop inside.
All right. And as you open that door, open that window, and as you all begin to slowly make your way inside, if you're trying to be stealthy, I need everyone to roll me dex stealth rolls at difficulty 7. It is a -3 for Ari because of invisibility and silence.
Let me try this again then.
No successes, but no botches either.
Dice school difficulty 7. Let's see. Oh boy.
That I succeed at.
And I don't think I have no butches either.
So we've got 3 successes overall and 2 failures, I believe, with no successes. Is that correct?
I
Yeah,
think that there are botches in your roll, though. Walter.
Oh boy, is it butches?
If you hover over it, you can see.
I only see the ones.
Unfortunately, yeah.
That's I only thought it was butches when it was like -1 and you know.
I don't think Roll20 will ever say -1. I think
I can scroll up and I see -1.
Oh, does it? Hold on, let me double check.
Oh yeah.
One second.
Pandora, she was she was queen of the botches, and she.
Okay. So then yes, that is unfortunately, thankfully for you, that is just a 0. That is not a botch because the 2 1s cancel out the 2 9s. So it's close. You all see that as Walter is stepping in, he momentarily kind of misjudges the step and he's kind of about to like trip forward. Thankfully you all are able to kind of steady him before he goes falling over this marble floor. And as you all
Yeah, I also got a failure, just so you're aware.
yes,
No botches,
thankfully this is a group check, so the 3 successes will be enough to protect you all. As for Diesel, as you are climbing through, you don't realize that the window isn't quite as sturdy as it looks, so you attempt to kind of compensate for what Walter does, so you kind of grab hold of it to kind of walk through it upright, and as you do so, the window itself kind of comes unhinged at the top and begins to kind of fall down. But thankfully, Aaron is there to kind of help support your weight before you kind of fall off balance, and you all are able to step through safely, securely. And I think as you all are standing there waiting to see what happens next, we'll go ahead and take a break.
I knew it!
And this time our camera is going to be focusing in on a couple of people who are riding in a vehicle, making their way quickly down the streets. You see that Yoonji Gilwin has kind of laid her head against the kind of window and has closed her eyes for a moment. All right, if you just follow this road, we should get there quickly.
No problem. I will I'll go as fast as I can within limits, within boundaries, but if they're in danger, I might I hope you're okay with me breaking the speed limit, as they say.
Or we can forgive that this time.
Okay. And Gilwin slams on the accelerator, and we're flying. We're flying
with the wind. One with the wind.
Roll me a dexterity plus drive. See how well you are able to control the vehicle at this speed. The difficulty is going to be 7.
Okay. 7.
Okay.
Okay, that is one success.
Okay. So I have good news. And I have bad news. You are making your way down the road pretty quickly, and you are able to a mixture of luck and grace, you could say. You are able to get through stoplights and traffic signals just quick enough to avoid smashing into any of the vehicles. However, as you begin to turn down, you see the car. You see there is a person who is laid out on the ground. And you see there are two cars that are kind of on both sides of the street here, which under normal situations you would be able to just kind of slowly fit between the two. However, you are moving entirely too quickly. So you have to make a decision here. You are going to hit one of these vehicles. The question is, are you going to hit the bigger one that you have not seen before? However, it is a good deal bigger than, and the damages to your vehicle may be immense, or the smaller one, which you know to have been. I'll be nice here and roll a d4 to see which one of your cars it is.
I specified it was the Mazda. Shit.
You manage, or you will hit the car that that Walter was driving. Which one would you like? How would you like this?
How far away am I from Parma?
You are at the moment you've already entered the city, the neighborhood of Parma, and you're basically cresting the road where this house is.
Oh, okay. Then I'm okay. So I'm definitely hitting this. There's no option of me, because what I would like to do, if I'm in the neighborhood, I'm stopping the car and we're just footing it the rest of the way.
Okay, I will say because I am merciful. You can attempt to stop at this speed. It will be very difficult. You will be putting this vehicle to its limits here. But you can give it a try. That would be a Dex drive roll. Difficulty 8.
Okay. Difficulty 8, man. All right. So difficulty 8. All right. Oh, 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay. So as you are cresting kind of a small hill here, and you see that you're approaching that street. So what you do is you kind of let the car, you take your foot off the gas and let the car kind of coax a little before kind of stopping it, almost in a way that you are certain is going to ruin the brakes, as you can kind of hear metal grinding on metal as the car is attempting to stop. That momentum is going forward, and almost like something out of an action movie, you're able to kind of turn the car enough that instead of hitting either of the other two cars, you kind of like bump into both of them. From I'm sure any of those car driving movies.
I feel the need to interrupt you just slightly so that people understand what's happening in the YouTube comments right now. They're watching us all lose our shit. We're having a little bit too much fun in our chat right now. We're so sorry.
And we have a new nickname in place. Gail Drift Troop. Gail Drift Troop.
Feel that.
So you are. I will say you definitely pull this off. A very impressive stroke of vehicle mastery. However, the vehicle is definitely going to need various new parts after this, but you are able to bring it to a stop, and you are able to very clearly see your friends are here. Yoonji is not looking very good, and you aren't sure if she looks sick because of her injuries, or if it was the sudden stop or anything like that. But she is visibly kind of much paler than she was before, and she's kind of sitting there for a moment, and she doesn't say anything.
Oh, would you like to wait in the car?
Yes.
Okay. Just what should I? They seem very convinced that there's something here. What should I tell to Ari that they should not be here?
Let's get them out as fast. Get them out as quickly as you can. Once my stomach stops flipping, I will come join you.
Yeah, that was some pretty that was some pretty sick driving. So you might be a little sick from the driving.
We don't need to talk about it. We don't need to talk about it. It's okay. It's fine.
Understood. Okay. Well, I will find them and I will try to get them to return. Because I don't want anything bad to happen.
Be careful.
Thank you. And I run toward. I kind of run toward with really no regard of stealth or anything. I kind of just run toward wherever the main entrance of this place is.
So you see there is a wrought iron gate, and there is a very strangely placed hole in the actual fence area that looks to be large enough for you to crawl through.
Can I try, since I'm running, to slide through the hole? I would very much like to do that.
Okay, sure. That would be
no chill, y'all.
that would be Dex. That'd be Dex Athletics.
All right, let's do it. Dexterity, athletics.
And I'll say your feline reflexes will work for this as well. Apply.
All right, what's the difficulty?
Running full speed, so I'm saying 7.
Okay. All right. Whoa.
So that's 4 successes because your specialty does apply. So yeah, so
Holy
you
crap.
are running
3, 8,
towards
9,
this
10.
thing.
Wow.
And it's a professional baseball player would be impressed with which the ability you managed to slide in monk-esque robes on bare ground and underneath there, and then pull yourself up, still conserving that momentum, still at that same speed as you are making your way toward this large-ish house. You did that. That works.
Do I see that unconscious?
Yeah, you saw him. He is still unconscious on the ground.
Sweet. Yeah, so I just run past, and I want to say that I would have a description of the window, right? So I would probably recognize the window, if you'd allow me, or maybe I have to fumble around.
I would say, yeah, you could figure out. There's only one window large enough, so I would say sure.
Okay. Can I reach the window? Because if not, I'd like to use my force to levitate up to the window if it's not something I can reach.
I mean, it is entirely in your ability to get to the window with your feet. However, if you wish to levitate, that's entirely up to you.
No. I'll just do it regular.
Okay. So, a couple of things happen here. For those of you inside of the house, you all have taken the time to move quietly inside. And as you are entering, you see the woman who has her back towards you still seems to be talking to something, where she freezes for a moment and begins to turn around. At that moment, 2 other people enter the room. One who seems to have her hands bound behind her back. Her hair is kind of flattened and dirty and just kind of singed in some places. and a very dirty looking man who those of you who've met who saw him, actually I think at this point all of you except for Diesel. No, Diesel was there.
He was there.
Diesel was there. I think Galen was the only one that was there. So you all recognize Tommy, who looks at you all and then looks out the window where he sees a monk who is in a mad dash towards the window, absolutely not trying to hide himself at all. And I am going to say, based on these events, I need everyone to roll an initiative for me.
Oh boy.
Oh, how does that work?
Fun times.
Yes.
Yeah, what do we roll for initiative again?
So you take your wit score and your dexterity, add those two numbers together, and then you roll a d10, a single d10.
Oh, right.
If you have the sheet, just probably click the initiative button.
Yes, if you're using the Roll20, if you hit initiative, it should do it for you.
Oh, hell yeah. That's what I like to see. I rolled a 15.
Walter and Diesel do be fast.
All right.
I rolled
the
maximum I could have rolled. So.
All right, let me add you to my tracker here. All right. Diesel, you said you're at a 15, yeah?
Yeah, I'm putting it in chat for you.
Okay, perfect. Oh, Jesus. All of you put it in chat.
Don't like this.
This woman.
Somehow Shay is like hyper aware.
Super vigilant.
I'm actually.
I would imagine that her, Diane, Shay seems like somebody who has her wits maxed out.
That's exactly what it is. My wits are super maxed out. But can I do anything? Not really, but I'm ready. Super focused.
Can I do anything? No.
I imagine Walter is the caffeine.
I feel like you could probably vicious mockery these people to death. I don't know.
That's like
Nice psychic damage.
Yeah, that's my that's about it. Whew, okay.
Throw a phone at them.
I mean,
I don't think she's selling that phone. I don't think she's selling that phone. That's a last ditch.
No, I'm not throwing that phone. Thank you, Kelwin. I would not be doing that.
Yeah, that's some
horrible idea.
That's a last ditch effort.
That being said, I ain't mad at these initiative scores, y'all.
Yeah, no, I'm like, wow, yeah.
It's
ready to go.
It's the rage of one of our friends being kidnapped. Just supercharged.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think what makes this I'm the slowest. So Eva, I got a 12, I think. Yep, I'm the slowest.
all right, beautiful. And I believe.
Are you still invisible? Are you
Yep.
still cloaked?
Ari is, yeah.
Cloaked in
Shay,
battle. I love it.
Shay, you are first, and as you see Tommy, who is holding Angela at the moment, stepping in from one direction. You see this woman who seems to have been alerted to your presence, but you aren't entirely sure if it's the sound or the situation or whatever. But she begins to turn. What would you like to do?
Okay, so I hear that I see the woman who is alerted to me. I also see a person. I'm kind of missed a part of the sentence you said that has Angela.
Yes, you see Tommy has just stepped into the room and is bringing Angela into the room as well.
Oh, okay, got it.
Prison escort, so to speak.
Gotcha. What I want to do is I want to focus so hard. And I turn on my Bluetooth headphones and I start just really jamming out to, I'm gonna say, Kings of Leon, and I am really like feeling that, and it's gonna take me back to a place where I was not a happy person. And in fact, I'm gonna like really again focus in on just like self-loathing, hatred, like all of those things that I felt like when I was younger. And I am gonna try to just offboard all of that. I'm gonna give all of that to the who has seen me. I want to just try to project all of that and just put it out there.
Hey, listening. I'm gonna rule that is gonna be considered vulgar. The way you're doing it. So it'll be, however, because it's a mind effect, the difficulty works differently. The difficulty is going to be her willpower plus 3 because she is special too. So it'll be difficulty 9.
Jesus. Okay.
Jeez.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Oh God.
Remember, willpower and quintessence are a thing.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah, definitely.
Mind of
that one
ages
success,
is difficult.
I will use some quintessence. Oof. Okay. No, do not.
The dice fell.
Yeah. Well, only one of them. Hold on.
Dice have a mind of their own.
Okay. A 9 and a 3.
Okay, so there's one success. Did you spend a willpower?
I did. No, I spent a quintessence.
Quintessence lowers
so-
difficulty.
So
Yeah.
okay, so then
Yes.
no. So that
Yeah.
wouldn't change anything.
Nah, that would just lower it.
In this case, so you only have the one success, and you begin to do it, and you can see just for a moment there's a look in this woman's eyes as she turns and she looks at you all, and there's just a flash of anger and jealousy just for a moment.
And whatever space I have left in that exact moment, I'm just gonna kind of like whisper, like, "Go, go, 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 go." That's it.
Okay. Well, Walter, it is your turn.
Does Walter recognize the woman at all?
Yes. She is the
boy.
woman from your vision, and events seem to be playing out a little differently than what you saw, but still within the realm of
the good future.
possibility. Yes, you are aware that you are still in the chance. You still have the chance.
Right. So looking around the room real quick, like is there anything he could affect with entropy to give them advantage? Just giving a cursory.
There are lots of things that you could affect with your ability. You're basically in kind of like a study, so you see there's the room around you, the floor, there's lots of different things. You have to be more specific with your question.
He's gonna try, if he can find something that would give them advantage by decaying the patterns of it, he's gonna do it. But since I have no idea what exactly is in the room, I have to kind of feel it out first.
You could, so I would say you could attempt to manipulate, say, the ceiling so that way it falls. You could attempt to manipulate the floor, maybe see if that would collapse or something of that nature. But it's something in that realm. However, difficulty in things will be difficult.
So he's gonna use eye contact. He's gonna look at Tommy. He's gonna look at the ground, and he's gonna rub the floorboards under him to trap either both of his feet or he's gonna try to trap his feet in the floor using entropy to decay the area he's standing on. And he's using eye contact to do it.
So that is going to be very, very vulgar
He knows.
magic. So that is going to be at difficulty 6. And based on the durability of the floor and damage you'd have to do, you want 4 successes total.
Alright, so I have 3 quintessence on Walter. I'm gonna use one of them to lower the difficulty by 1.
Okay.
And I'm gonna use one of my remaining 2 willpowers to
Wait, the difficulty is 7.
oh, 7.
Did I say
So
7? Yeah.
you said
'Cause
6
it's
and
entropy 3.
and I lowered it by 1, so it's back to 6.
Yes, that was my mistake. This is an entropy 3 effect, not an entropy 2 effect.
And I am spending 1 willpower to get at least 1 success. Dice pool, difficulty 6, submit, and I got 2.
All right. So you see the floor underneath him begins to mildew and begin to give you that kind of sag looking to it, but it isn't quite broken down. You are more than welcome to keep trying on your next turn for this effect.
That I think my then is going to be somewhere else. should have been for the ceiling.
Well, here's hoping what I'm about to do will make your job easier.
Is there anything else that you wish to do, Walter? Moving, maybe? Anything?
Since he wants to protect the people around him, he's going to make himself the threat. He's going to pull out the gun.
So you can do that.
Yeah, he wants to draw the attention to him, so he can protect the people around him.
Okay, Diesel, it's your turn.
Yeah, I'd like to put Tommy on the floor. I am going to use forces, and what basically I want to do is, like, Diesel begins to project out like a single clear note from their like they sing a single clear note, and it like kind of projects out from their like from their mouth like a wave, and then as it kind of reaches a certain point, they bring their hands together and clap as hard as they can and like basically slam that sound out to knock Tommy down.
Ooh.
Okay, that is going to be very vulgar.
Oh, what paradox do I take?
You gain 1 point because you did succeed the roll. So for you, that is going to be a difficulty 6 roll, as you are manipulating forces that are present.
Cool. I will spend a quintessence to lower that by 1 and make that difficulty 5, and then I will also spend a willpower to get an automatic success.
Okay.
Are you serious?
Uh-oh.
Oh boy. Uh-oh.
Well, I didn't botch, but the only success I got was off my willpower. So.
Okay, so you do gain a point of paradox for that.
Okay.
And with only 1 success, I believe. Unfortunately, it doesn't do any damage with only 1 success.
Oh,
Yeah,
no,
I wasn't
it is
really
a
trying
forces
to hurt it.
effect.
Yeah, I
so
wasn't
it
really
does.
trying
It
to hurt them,
pushes
so.
him.
Yeah.
So I will say you are able to push him. He is definitely clear of maybe like 2 feet of Angela now, as the kind of wind. It's not as much as you wanted, but it manifests and pushes him further back into the hallway behind him.
Hopefully it gave him a little bit of a earache as well.
Well, we'll find out because he is going to step forward, and you see him kind of reach up to his face, and as he reaches out, he begins to kind of pull. Actually, I will rephrase that. You see his body beginning to shift and grow in size as he begins to morph and alter himself, and he begins to grow 8 to 10 feet tall, actually, and his muscles begin to expand I'm trying not to do too body horror here, and you see him, his hulking form begin to take up that hallway as he steps into the room. He glares at each of you, and then his attention seems to be stolen by something outside of the window. And speaking of that, Mr. True, what would you like to do?
Ooh, so since I'm out the window, does he notice? Like, I guess, do I have the mage equivalent of a surprise or a sneak on this person? Since I'm not like with the rest of the folks.
Unfortunately, not because you did not stealth up. You're more or less just kind of running across the grass at the moment. Yeah,
of course,
you're kind of a monk running. Yeah.
So I want, if there are any objects that are any loose objects around, I would like to. Well, am I in there enough that I can see what's going on?
You are basically about to hit the window as this turn is starting.
Okay, so I can't see anything basically. At the
no, you can still
turn.
see them. The entire window
okay.
is a person's size, so you can see into the room just fine.
Okay, and like I can ascertain that this is that it's going down. All right. So because I see Angela. Okay. If there are any loose objects around the room, like if there's a table with things on it, or maybe some things, I would like to use it looks like I could do telekinesis at force 2. So I'd like to hurl some objects, some loose objects.
Okay.
At
how does this effect happen?
So what are the objects?
There is a large, looks to be like a large black wooden desk. In there are smaller things. Like there's kind of a small statue. There's some paintings on the wall. There's, I would say anything you could reasonably expect in like a home office.
Okay.
You'd be able to find.
Okay, cool. I'd like to say that there's some dinnerware on the table, like maybe some like a plate, maybe a cup, some flatware, that kind of stuff. I can't believe I said flatware. I'm very old. So when Agelwin enters, he ascertains that this is like a going down. I'm gonna say I don't know what direction that Tommy would be from me, but whatever direction that he is, I'm gonna see the dinnerware, and I'm gonna run in and like basically do like a swooping motion from the table toward where like a time is, almost kind of like, I guess the closest I can think about it is kind of like airbending, sort of. If you're an Avatar fan, where I'm just like kind of like almost looks like I'm like manipulating a gust of wind, but it's more of a telekinetic thing toward Tommy. So I want to hurl plates and cups and forks and such at him.
Okay, so that's vulgar, definitely vulgar. So it'd be difficulty 6, and you can make a roll for it.
Okay. Whoops, I crashed my thing. Hold on, let me get back in here. Okay. All right, cool. So that's forces. And actually, you know what? I actually, out of character question, how do I make a roll with my spheres? I don't seem to see it on the sheet.
It is an Arate roll.
Okay, sweet. All right. So,
whenever you're doing magic, you're rolling Arate.
Sweet. And it's difficulty 6, right? You said?
Yes, difficulty 6.
Right, sweet. Okay, so that is 2 successes.
All right, you gain a point of paradox, and you are able to pick up a good number of small and medium-sized dishes and forks and knives, and they do go flying towards this large, which you can see now, it's like a large gorilla almost, And as some of them begin to kind of stab into him, you see them get fairly deep. You see them kind of get about maybe 2 inches directly into the center of his chest before he kind of looks at you and he begins to kind of slowly pull them out. Anything else you want to do, Gelwin?
Oh, is there more I can do?
You can still kind of move. The World of
okay.
Darkness combat isn't D&D, but you can. You got movement.
Yeah. So I get essentially, and again, I don't mean to D&Dify everything, but I get an attack and movement, right? I can do my action, and I can
basically, yeah,
my 30-ish feet in the Mage universe, whatever it is. Okay. Yeah. So I want to move toward Angela. Essentially, I want to move toward her, wherever she is.
All right. And as you do so, who I believe all of you at this point would realize is Sarah looks at you confused. Her eyes travel to each of you, and you all smell the unbearable scent of sulfur filling your nose. As coming from the palms of her hand, you see inky black flames begin to reach up her arms, and she turns and she begins to hurl it at. Actually, since all of you are more or less grouped together, she's going to throw it at you and see what happens. So, can I have all of you roll me a dexterity athletics roll at difficulty 7?
Oh boy.
You kid?
Now,
That's gonna be bad.
is this a forces sphere?
No. I will say the choristers, because of your unique knowledge, would be aware that this is a flame gifted upon someone by the angels and demons of hell. This is not sphere magic.
You said dexterity plus what?
Athletics.
Thank you.
I am going to. I'm gonna spend a willpower to get another success here.
Wait, am I getting hit if I'm invisible?
If you are near them, yes.
Okay.
Because this attack is all of you have more or less kind of bunched together, and she's just throwing fire at all of you.
Oh no.
I did not botch, but I didn't roll any successes.
I rolled no successes and a 1.
I got the 1.
Oh boy. So we've got, so if you rolled underneath 2 successes, these black flames erupt around you and they begin to burn your skin and your clothing as it just begins to scorch you, and you feel pain emanating throughout your entire body, and you gain 3 levels of aggravated damage, which on your character sheets, to mark that, you see the sections. If you go to the health, and if you click it 3 times, you'll get a symbol that's kind of like an X with a line through it. Do that for 3 boxes, and that is aggravated damage.
Oh boy. So we're injured.
No,
I'll say that again, Aaron.
We click each box 3 times up to 3 boxes 3 times. Is that what?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So you go down 3 boxes. You'll mark 3 boxes, and if you click each one 3 times, the symbol should look like an X with a line down.
Yeah, I see it. So we are very grievously injured. Got it.
However, unfortunately for our darling Shay, as you attempt to avoid it, but instead of going, you basically you duck when you should have weaved, and you end up going into the fire as it happens, and you are going to take an additional point of aggravated damage for a total of 4.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Shay. I don't believe anyone else rolled a botch, correct? All right.
So the only one who avoids it was the angel babies?
I rolled exactly 2. Exactly 2.
Yeah, you're fine. Two will succeed. You're able to move.
Sweet.
No, if you rolled above 2 successes, if you rolled 2 or better, you manage to avoid it. But you do see parts of the room is on fire. Oh, I didn't roll for Angela. Hold on a second.
Oh boy.
Wait, Angela's with us?
No, come on. No roll for
She's
Angela.
in.
there.
She's in the
Poor
room.
Angela.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
was brought in.
She's prone. Poor prone defensiveless Angela.
Oh, she only rolled one success, unfortunately. So she begins to burn as her arms begin to get, as this black flames begin to spread up her arms, and she screams in pain as just fire begins to spread up along her body. All right, and with that, Aaron, it's your turn.
Ooh, okay. Now with Sarah throwing all this stuff at us, I was trying to look up. There's something that I could do that is vulgar magic. Weave idyllic force is a prime 2, so I can do that one. And that says that I can summon a bolt of pure primal energy. But the spell is nearly always vulgar, and I'm fine with that. She just threw like dark fire muck at us. Like, I'm taking one for the team.
That is true. So you can create basically a bolt of light or a bolt of prime energy that is aggravated to anything it hits. So my question for you is, how does this affect manifest?
I feel like Aaron was probably leaning over Ari, trying to protect them as all of this happened, and and as Aaron looks up and sees that she is being fired at by this person, she is just going to get like very rage fueled in the eyes. It will look very intense, especially because she is like pretty intimidating looking, very intimidating looking. So it will just be absolutely like a terrifying look on her face as this like bolt of energy like crashes from the sky, like to hit this person, hopefully directly in the face.
All right, so that is I believe that is a prime 3 effect, but it could be incorrect. I think it's prime 3. Is it 2? Okay, well, all right. Well, that is very much vulgar, so it'll be difficulty 6 for you. But you are more than welcome to go for it. Two successes. Okay. So 2 successes on the damage chart. Let me just double check that for you. All right, so as this blinding bolt of light crashes into her, you see that the damage itself doesn't seem to be directly hitting her, as opposed to removing or undoing her body. You see her hands are beginning to dissolve, and she screams in pain as she takes some aggravated damage as you are undoing her very self. The bolt of power from the sky. Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Like for my wings to come out, is that another action, or is that just like something that I can do when I can do it?
I want to say you can just do that.
A roll of cool. Roll of cool.
Yeah, you could just do that. You could just do that.
Yeah, her wings will come out, and she'll try to keep, like, you can see that one of them is very clearly like kind of halfway around Ari, protecting them a little bit. Like the other one's like full out, but you can see that she's still trying to keep a little shield around her sibling.
Ari, this is your turn.
So Ari looks at the flames, and you can see like the eyes widen. They have never seen anything like this before. And you kind of like look up at Iron for a second before getting into their backpack, and they take out what look like 2 chicken bones, and they kind of like start rubbing them together as they use their prime 2 to shake the bones and stun the were gorilla and prevent them from moving.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
It is a very unpleasant effect. I'm sure you are.
We can infuse spell.
You just like, stay away. And they can't see him either because he's invisible.
I don't remember the rolls for that actually.
Or the chicken bones invisible though? Just a bunch of floating chicken bones.
Those
Just appear out
are
of nowhere.
also invisible. Thankfully, those are also invisible. All right. So, roll me the Arte. Roll me an Arte roll. The difficulty for this, vulgar, so it's going to be 6.
All right, so I'm definitely using 3 quintessent to bring it down to 3. All right. Oh, and 3 is, you know what? I'm using willpower. I'm gonna make it 4.
Okay.
Big oof.
So 4 points. So 4 successes, which translates to 8 points of damage, I believe. So he has to make a willpower roll to see if you stun him. The rest of you watch as he begins to fade in and out of reality. Its body just becomes almost completely translucent before snapping back. And willpower.
Sounds painful.
Wow, his willpower is so low. My goodness. Why is his willpower
Those are
so
beautiful,
low?
beautiful words to hear.
Yep, I already did the magical equivalent of kicking him in the balls.
So he falls to one knee as he botches his willpower roll.
You see Ari just go back and forth. Okay. Stun. And that's their turn. They're just focused on stun locking him like a rogue from World of Warcraft.
And you add that point of paradox.
Yep.
All right, next up, Shay, it is your turn.
Okay. So I want to who looks already not good of our no, not you. of the people we don't like.
But currently, I would say the Sarah definitely looks the worst. Though it does appear that Tommy is maybe undergoing some strange effect. You see him kind of. You aren't sure what's happening to him. I don't believe any of you have seen such an effect before, but he's almost like he's fading in and out of reality. But whereas Sarah was just hit by a bolt from the heavens, apparently.
Okay. Wait, so Tommy looks like he's phasing in and out of reality. I want to use entropy. Okay, what I want to do is I want to let me see which is connected to that. So my Polaroid camera is connected to my entropy. So what I want to do is I want to take it out and I want to try to time it, and I want to take a picture of when he is phased out of reality, and I want to make that reality. I want to time my picture so that I take it during one of his phases out.
Oh.
And use that and make it true. That using my entropy to pull strings of random events. This feels like a random event to me.
So what you would be able to do, I would say, is you would be able to impose a penalty on his attempt to become more material. So basically make it harder, the next willpower roll to be more difficult. However, you are not quite as proficient in entropy to fundamentally mess with that much control over over things that is a bit
Okay.
beyond you at the moment.
Okay. 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 3 successes, 1 is a 10.
All right, 3 successes. Okay. As you are attempting to kind of nudge or manipulate fate and chance in a way, and as you take a picture of this camera, the image isn't entirely in focus or out of focus. It's almost like you managed to freeze him in a state in between reality, in between existence and non-existence for a moment. Do you feel like your ability worked? That is also going to be vulgar, so you will gain another point of paradox, my friend.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
How many points of paradox can we gain before it's bad?
We'll find out. We'll find out. I don't think any of you have reached. I don't think any of you've reached 5 yet, so it's fine.
It's still good.
This
it's
is
still
my
good.
4th one.
Oh well, Shay's reaching 5. Shay's reaching 5, so it's fine.
I think the only other person who reached that high was Vandal in the prequel.
It went,
Alright, Walter.
it went bad.
Oh, no. I'm wrong. This is my 3rd one.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
looking
cool.
at something different.
So wait, what did you say, storyteller?
Walter, it's your turn.
All right, tell me if I can justify this. If Walter uses mathematics, can he replace agility with, or can he magically make himself better at shooting with entropy, correspondence, and time to kind of give himself an aimbot?
Yes, you can manipulate chance to make it so that way you'd hit easier. Or you could use, I would say you could use correspondent to basically do the same thing. Mechanically, they would both make it easier to hit.
All right, he's gonna use correspondence to make it easier to shoot. So I roll annotate first. Wait, I don't want to fuck this up, but I can use magic and then do an action, right?
For what you're doing, they are going to be a part of the same thing.
I see.
So for this will actually be a coincidental effect since you're just using math
Right.
to calculate trajectories and all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm,
So it'll be difficulty 5. Your RT roll.
All right, difficulty 5. Please give me something. The 2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so now roll a dexterity firearms roll. It'll be difficulty 6 minus 2 because of your RT roll, so difficulty 4.
All right, so I have no skills in firearms. Fun.
Ooh,
And my agility
that's
is
not good.
And my dexterity is 2, but I have a plan.
So unfortunately, though, if you roll a skill like that without having any dots in it, the difficulty increases by 1.
So it's how much difficulty?
5.
All right, 5. That's still good. That's still good. And this list of skills is so annoying. Firearms
I'm sorry.
and DP mod none. Difficulty 5. And I'm gonna ride close to the edge, and I'm gonna buy 1 more success with my, and I have 1 willpower left. Wait, hold on. Question. This is gonna sound cheeky, but since I'm attacking Miss Melting Hands because she attacked one of my friends, would technically Walter regain a willpower because of his nature?
Oh.
What is your nature?
Guardian.
Sure.
All right, so I'm still at 1 willpower left then, because I would be out of willpower otherwise.
Right.
Yeah, riding dangerous. He's gonna try.
It's going
He's gonna
to
put her down.
roll to soak this damage. Guess she has some magic of her own.
He just no mercy. Just points at her.
Oh, well, she failed to soak, so she didn't soak at all. All right, so she takes 2 bullets straight to the center of her chest, and there is now blood dripping down her front, and she staggers for a moment, but she
That
is
is just-
still up.
Pure rage on Walter's face. None of you seen him like this.
All right, as these gunshots ring out, you all can hear in the distance police sirens approaching where you all are. And I think that is where we're going to stop our story for the evening.
Oh!
That is where we're leaving off after, and there's no game next week.
Yeah, we got Thanksgiving next week. We gotta wait too.
Oh boy.
Well,
Distance makes the heart grow fond.
I have to live with a cliffhanger for 2 weeks.
I have 2 weeks to think of weirder ways to use my abilities.
Yeah, I have
Same,
2
though.
weeks. Yeah, we have 2 weeks to plan. Silver lining.
Oh wow! Well, please, viewers, do not hate us for that cliffhanger. We hope you enjoyed this session. Yes, as mentioned, I forgot to mention this at the beginning of the stream, but we would not be having a session next week because, of course, next week is Thanksgiving. But we will be back the following Monday to see where this concludes, as things are extremely hectic. So I had such a fantastic time. Once again, thank you to this wonderful storyteller, Ree. Thank you to this fantastic cast. You all were incredible. So many great laughs, especially in Zoom chat. And thank you, of course, to our viewers for watching us, because without you, we wouldn't be here. And so with that said, we will see you in 2 weeks. Farewell for now.
Peace.